That's Rod Zawacki. Chris Ruffalo also with us today, and we'll be talking about tonight's NFL action as well as the Major League Baseball Wildcard. Yeah, it is frosty cold over here, man. I go on cold runs once in a while, and I'll tell you, I've had them before, and I'll have them again. And, if this is the worst cold run I ever have, well, then I'm probably in good luck and in rare company. Yesterday kind of was one of those days where it's kind of like it bottomed out for me. But, I always hit the bottom hard and bounce back in a big way. Normally I make a Vegas trip, when I have a day like yesterday, but no Vegas trips for me. We still have quarantine. But anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to turn the heat up, man. We're going to bring in the Puck Dogs. We're going to bring in Bittler, and we're going to start the new month in a right way and make October a absolutely killer month. Guys, how's it going? Ready to turn the heat up in here, man? Because I got to tell you, I am ice cold. Ice cold. You ever just have those days where it's like, yesterday was a perfect day to be ice cold because it was like you didn't have to really suffer through a lot of the games, or anything like that. It was like I had Padres 2-0 Cardinals, like right out of the gate. It was just, every single, we all have days like that, and you're just like, and then, the coup de grace, it's like the Heat were winning by 13 points, and then all of a sudden, it was nothing really that the Lakers did special there. It was a brick fest. I mean, they went through a 10 to 12 minute. It was Harrow, right? Just bricking shot after shot after shot. And it's like, if you're bricking and they're making, well, the game gets away from you in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw. And we've seen it throughout the NBA playoffs. Anytime there's been a run like that where a team's bricking shots and the other team just, hitting 2s and 3s on the other side, it doesn't matter how big the deficit is. It turns into a double-digit lead that they never really reel them in. They usually have extended it. Every team that's done that in the playoffs, we've seen it a bunch of times. The Houston Rockets did it. Remember when the Rockets did it? They did it to the Lakers, right? It was like, the Lakers did it to the Nuggets. The Nuggets did it. It's like we've seen every team. The Heat have done it, right? I mean, every team in the playoffs has had a run against another team where it wasn't even a great defense or anything like that. It was just shots, wide open shots that were rushed and just bricking off the rim. But, today's another day, and we could get it started. So, I think that, today's another day, and, it's also a new month. Chris, you ended the month on a higher note than I did, that's for sure. What have you got in store for us today?
Well, me, I've learned never take it for granted because you could easily be on the other side of the coin. It went from one day to the next, but today I'm hoping to build on that nice day yesterday. Got a 5-pack over at the website. It's going off at 12 noon for MLB and my top play in the NFL tonight.
Rod, what do you got for us going on today? I saw you had a winning day yesterday as well.
Yeah, it would have been a great day yesterday if NBA if somebody wasn't shooting so many bricks.
It was like it wasn't even just Harrow's bricks. It was like they couldn't even get the tip-ins right around the bucket, right? They couldn't even get those to go. And it's like when you can't get those to go either, it's like it just gets ugly fast. And
it did, yeah.
So
I was cheering for the over. I was like, come on, give me the over, give me the over. And it just didn't get there, and I was like, oh, nice.
It's just, there's some days, and that's part of sports betting, where there's nothing you can do. It's just, the ball's going to go bounce the other way. And there are other days where it's like, you feel like you can't lose, right? And it's just, sometimes it happens in bunches. Sometimes it's, day after day. Sometimes you never know. But, it's just the way it is, and it's like, I've had bad runs before, and I've had really good runs before. Thankfully, I've had a lot more good runs than bad runs. And baseball's been murder on me this season. I'll be honest, man. People, some people will say, "Oh, Mitch does it." No. Mitch's record is out there. I'm accountable. If I'm cold, I say I'm cold. I never sit here and rip off records. That's this guy. That's not me. I mock him. When he does it, right? I mean. I think we should come up. I think we should. Well, I have an idea for when Bitler does this that the rest of us should,
Well, then you're gonna like my turn because you'll be
of
able to
course.
have fun with me.
Well, we're gonna all. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have like a group activity for when you do that. And then we'll have a new one every day. Like we'll be knitting or like baking or something. Or reading the paper. Or,
so you in the background do jumping jack.
Get reading a cookbook or something. Because it's like
whoa.
No one wants to hear that. I mean, nobody.
A Puck Dog's cookbook. That'd be a good idea for some kind of giveaway. Favorite recipe.
Where's the meatloaf?
page 1. Where's the meatloaf?
Where's the meatloaf?
You don't have to look very hard.
I make a bacon wrapped meatloaf. You take your meatloaf and then you zigzag your bacon and you put your meatloaf in the middle and you roll the bacon around your meatloaf and then you bake it. Oh, so good.
That would get me to try meatloaf. I don't like meatloaf.
No, most people don't like meatloaf, but if you have bacon wrapped meatloaf, people are what? Bacon wrapped meatloaf? Oh. Anyways, today at the website, I got a triple play Thursday going. 3 plays in MLB. Love those plays like I did yesterday in the MLB. Let's keep it rolling and get the triple play at the website. Or I'm going to kick off October, get a week pass for $99.99. I'm going to kick off October, get 1 week for $99. Good riddance to September.
I agree with Rob on that one. Good riddance to September.
All right.
As far as I go, my day all hinged on the Cincinnati Reds Atlanta Braves game. When the Reds lost in the 13th inning, that took me to a 1-2 day, or it propelled me to a 1-2 day. As far as what I got special, because of my crappy month of September, I'm offering up my college football pass the rest of the season, including whatever postseason there is. $395. That's $100 off. Last year, 57% number one on many sites in college football this year. 59% winners on the year, hitting around 2,300 take home. So check that out on the website, pickdogs.com. Premium picks, Brian Bitler, college football pass, 100 off.
Great. I got a 3-pack out there. I got 2 Major League Baseball and 1 NFL. The lines came out late, so what I'll probably do is after the early MLB game goes off, I will probably add one of the later MLB games as well. Create a new 3-pack. If you bought the early 3-pack from me, send me an email, mitch@pickdogs.com. I'll give you the other pick for nothing. Anyways, got Sunday night football going off today, or Thursday night football. Got the Jets and the Broncos. Major line movement in this game, but I think this is one of those ones where I think you're betting on the number. And I think that the Sharps loved it at one number. And I'm going to guess they don't like it so much at another number because it's one of those games. And if you're picking games based on a point or a half a point or something, that's probably a game you should avoid anyway. But Chris, Jets, Jets. Some people out there throwing some money at this team. This is what happens when you put games on a Thursday night, right? It's like people, they lose all consciousness of the league's worst rush defense. You have the worst rush defense in the NFL. You are the worst team in the NFL. That is pretty much, because what do most coaches say they want to do? Run the football, right? What does everyone say? We want to run the football. We want to stop the run. See, the Jets have a coach that doesn't understand the fundamentals of football, which is blocking and tackling. Usually the team that blocks the best and tackles the best wins. That's pretty much what it comes down to in football. And the New York Jets, they do neither of those things well. Their best defender decided to take the COVID break. Their best offensive player doesn't want to be there. He took the. It's like if the best offensive player doesn't want to be anywhere. It's like he's in the other place. I don't want to be there. It's like I don't want to be here. I'm gonna sit here. It's like I'm gonna go through the motions here. It's like here's a guy that just wants to get paid for being, and I know people like this. They just want to get paid for being who they are, right? It's like I'm Mitch, so just pay me. It's like, right? I mean, that's what this guy is, right? I mean. There are like handicappers, right, that want to be on the site all the time. I get emails every day. And Brian knows some of these guys. And, he's always like, oh, we should have this guy. We should have this guy. I said, the issue is that they don't enter picks. It's like you can't give out winners or sell anything or really do anything if you don't actually give out picks to games. That's part of being a handicapper. And I think part of being an NFL running back is actually playing in the games and running the football. By the way, Rod, I'm rivaling your Telly Savalas picture. I'm coming at you with it.
Are you?
Yes, my wife stuck the new picture in my on my set yesterday. I got this superstar right here, signed edition.
Oh, nice.
It's my wedding picture.
Oh, that's you. I thought it was Telly Savalas.
Oh my God!
It's my wedding picture.
Nice.
There you go.
Is that your real hair in that picture?
Yeah, that's
wow.
Yeah,
that looks fantastic.
Yeah,
that's why I thought it was Telly Savalas. I had to look closer.
I'm telling you,
Brandis at first.
This is the thing. I have hair.
So do I, but
no, but my hair is light blonde. So when it's cut down like this, like how it is, you can't see it because it's light blonde. If I had like black hair, then I would have like it wouldn't be as I would probably back a little bit, but it definitely comes out to like here, in this area. It's just that's light blonde. In Hawaii, I couldn't find anybody to cut my hair, so I just said, screw it. I just shaved the whole thing myself. It's easier.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you let me live in the back, I could do your hair for you once a month. Build a little bit of extra studio for me.
How about this? If you touch me, I'm calling the police. How does that sound?
I'll tell you what, I can fix you up real nice.
Like you slide the paper across the desk.
You even suggest that you're going to put your hand on me in any way. A good way, bad way, whatever way. I'm calling the cops.
Sam, what are you doing? Sam, not looking there.
Genuine. Usually, a barber has to put his hands on you. That's how it works.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. I'm good.
He's like, I'll grow dreadlocks before
I'm good. Anyways, Chris, Jets. We know who Bitler likes here. We'll go there in a minute, because he doesn't.
The side's fairly obvious, so I mean.
Jets suck. There's no way.
The Jets offense, 32nd in points scored.
No way,
okay,
hell.
12.3 points per game. Okay, 88.3 rushing yards per game, 28th in the league. 175.3 passing yards per game, 31st in the league. Overall offense, 32nd in the league. This is an offensive head coach that they have. I mean, they have an offensive head coach.
They're so bad right now that they will finish 33rd in a 32-team league. That's how bad they are.
The Jets, the JTS Jets, are 27th in the NFL in points allowed at 31.3 per game. And 24th in rushing yards allowed at 133 per game. 15th in passing yards allowed. And 17th in overall defense, 372 yards a game.
That's why I'm saying the only thing that's going to be in the right position when the Jets are taking the field on defense tonight is the goalpost, because there is no way, no how I am backing this Jets team. They are horrible. Even they're going to make Brett Rippon look like a superstar tonight, I have a feeling. But as far as I'm going to take the Broncos and the points in the game. I don't even know if I'm going to watch this game. I might just put on the baseball instead. But two props I would look at as well. Probably the first score to be a field goal. I think at minus 115. I know it's juicy. It's not a first touchdown prop. I just think that one's going to cash. And Melvin Gordon over in the rushing yards. I think Broncos going to pound the ball all day.
You going to let Bitler groom your beard anytime soon?
I'm just
Just asking.
It's a little cold in Canada. I only go to
yeah.
tropical environments.
He's like, Brian's like, I don't.
I'm trying to get a free trip to Hawaii. That's what.
Raj, inviting Brian over for a manscaping?
No, I'm good.
I mean, my father-in-law cut my hair when the start of COVID happened, when none of the barber shops were open, and the chair fell over, and he still had the clipper in his hand and grew a racing stripe in the top of my head. So I had to shave it all off. But he probably got my hairline, like he gave me the LeBron hairline to about here, and then left a giant tuft at the back, so I looked like Adam Sandler in Click.
Oh man, almost had the nose on that one. Rod, what are you thinking in this Sunday night debacle?
This Thursday night disaster.
Yes.
Yuck. Ugh. For me, I can't. I'm not. I would not be laying with no Jets. I'll take Denver here. You give me Denver on money line here.
How about you, Brian?
Well, as they'll say on probably some of the other lame shows, somebody's O has got to go tonight.
I say that.
Oh, maybe I don't know. Anyway,
I said it in our video on a sports chat.
I was thinking of another site, but because
they
say it too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
It's boxing.
Anyway,
it's a boxing thing.
Just like the Wednesday on Wednesday, which wasn't a Wednesday yesterday for me. Anyway, in this game, I like the over.
It's Wednesday. It's always Wednesday here.
Wednesday. It's always Wednesday here. I like the over in this one. I know people don't think of much scoring coming from the Jets or even the Broncos, but Jets defense is pretty horrible, and I don't know. Broncos really haven't held anybody down. I think they're giving up about 25 a game. So
take the Canucks.
Give me the over, the total, and I like Sam Darnold to score the first touchdown, plus 600.
All right. I think you go back to that Bronco tight end, Noah Fant.
Oh, I love Noah Fant as far as fantasy players go,
but the Jets are so bad.
It only pays plus 200, and it's just not enough of a.
How about Philip Lindsay?
I think he's plus 600. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look at it.
What about Jerry Jeudy?
Because he's plus 300.
Because he's going to torch him, right? I mean, he's going to have him.
He's in my fantasy lineup tonight, Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, add them all: Hamler, Jeudy, Lindsay, Font. It's a Broncos stack, as they call it. Yeah, it's weird because, like, last week, the Jets were the 11.5-point dogs, and then it's like this thing goes to 13.5, and you're like, wow, that's a ton of points for an NFL game. But, I mean, the thing is, I laid those points, and I was never worried for 1 second. Like, the Jets scored early, which was weird that they had scored, right? They just scored points in the game. And it was still, I wasn't even worried at all because the next play, the Colts just went right down the field. My guess is you're going to see some Jet sweeps to Jerry Jeudy tonight. They're going to do whatever they can to get him the ball. And, if you don't have a quarterback that can get him the ball, then you got to just hand him the ball. And that's eventually what they're going to do. And it's kind of like what the Niners did last year with their wide receiver. The guy who's out for the season is killing them. The guy from South Carolina. What's his name again? That South Carolina wide receiver on the Niners. Who's like
Deebo Samuel.
That's it. And then they finally started handing him the ball because they had a quarterback that can't throw the ball more than 4 yards. So what they do is they hand it to him. And that's what the Broncos will do with Jerry Jeudy eventually.
I don't know. Rippon is pretty. I've seen him play in the preseason before. He's pretty bad.
Yeah, he's horrific. Boise quarterbacks are bad. I mean, they're terrible in the NFL. Kellen Moore was a Boise quarterback. He was really good. Then you had, the quarterback that from Boise, the one that I saw at the craps table over at, it might have been Brett Rippon. I mean, the quarterback that I saw at the craps table in Vegas it's been so long since Casino Royale. He's at the craps table, and he's wearing a cowboy hat. And he's like, I was parlaying the hard 10. I had $20 hard 10. I hit it, and so I parlayed. I put the whole, 160 plus the 20, so I had 180 on the hard 10. He's like, that's he's looking at me like, that's a good bet. I said, I know you. You're that Boise quarterback, man. You stink. You cost me so much money. It's like I didn't stink. It's like, I'm like, well, what about this? He's like, man, you really watch the games. I'm like, yes, I do. Anyways, yeah. I don't know, man. I hate Gase. I love betting against him. I understand Brian's line movement here and all that other stuff, and 82%, 66% of the public on the Broncos, and you're starting to see actually a lot more of the public here moving to the Jets. You are. As the line has moved, you're seeing a lot more of the public move too. So I think Brian maybe might have missed that part of the equation. But you are seeing a lot of public move here. But the Broncos' offense has been dreadful, 29th in offense, 27th. This could be a one-point game. So getting points, with the better team. The Broncos at least have been competitive. The Jets have been just crushed. They got crushed on the road. They got crushed at home. The Niners, right? That was what you call a slaughter. Denver, when you look at their opponents, Tennessee Titans 14-16, right? The kicker on the Titans missed 35 field goals in that game. 26-21 against the Steelers and 28-10 against Tom Brady, and that was this past weekend with Rippon's first start. 36-7 at Indy, 31-13 at home to San Francisco, and a respectable 27-17 at Buffalo. 0-3 against the number for the Jets, Jets. Anyways, Brian, we notice here is that a lot of back in. What we notice here is that there's a lot of public money coming in here on the Jets. A lot of public money. This is moving quickly. See?
Oh, let me pull mine up real quick.
I mean, I'm saying that there's still more on the Broncos, but the number is definitely moving. That the public money is moving on the Jets.
What I see is 44% bets Jets, but 67% of the money on the Jets. So, in my opinion, the big
right, but before it was like 70-30 or maybe even more. So what you're seeing is a lot of public bets on the Jets. I think this is late money chasing the sharps, and I think it's dead money. You chase the sharps, you're dead, because the sharps are on a number. The sharps are getting 2.5. They're not.
Maybe the number actually fluctuated with the quarterback. Maybe they thought Luck was going to start. Lock was going to start at quarterback.
He's out. So he's been out for 6 to 8 weeks.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out myself. I think me and you see this game differently, but we'll see how it plays out in the field.
I'm on the 6 o'clock show for those of you that were wondering today. Let me see who else is on with us. Alex Smart,
we got some new additions this month too.
Chris Ruffalo. Rod Zawacki is on, Shane Mickle, me, and Tony T. Yep, we'll have 3 new additions in the month of October on the live show. We've got Kevin Thomas coming on board, Damian Sosh, and Charles Ormsby from Spread Knowledge. All will be on the live shows in October. We might even get some other guys. I'm going to go rouse them up. Anyways, Major League Baseball, 5 games today. How about this 2 out of 3 format? It's kind of hollow. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say.
I'd rather have 5.
I'm gonna say that the other rule changes in baseball, I really liked all of them, except for I don't like the DH. I think you should go, but I can understand it in a shortened season. But it's like, I like the guy starting on second base in the extra innings. I like some of these other things, which they don't do in the playoffs. Did you notice that in the Reds game? Because that game would have been over, right?
Oh, I noticed it.
Yeah, it's like
I noticed the Reds having guys at first and third and not being able to get them in from simple stuff like that. But
speaking of the Reds, they kind of remind me of one of my favorite baseball names out there. That would be Finito Santiago. I believe the Reds are done here against the Braves.
I think you got the wrong team there.
Well, I think the Reds are done. They had their fun, and I think yesterday they had their chances, and they had more chances, and they had even more chances. And when Joey Votto had to wait for the ball to go through and was only able to make it to third base, that's how you end up losing to the Atlanta Braves, who I was shocked only scored 1 run, but Trevor Bauer, a mammoth. I don't even know how you say it. Mammoth performance, right? Epic.
Yeah.
Really way beyond his pay grade. Way beyond
Especially,
anything that we could possibly have expected from him. I know the Reds fans who said, when I said on my video, Bauer's not their number one, he is our number one. It's like, you don't know anything. Well, I might not know anything, but I don't consider Trevor Bauer a number one pitcher. But after yesterday, I'm going to guess that was probably worth at least $5 to $7 million on his next contract renegotiation. Maybe more. Anyways, Ian Anderson, formerly of Jethro Tull, now on the Atlanta Braves. Up against Luis Castillo. We've seen Castillo, he had a couple real dominating performances in there, but then some not so dominating performances after that. Chris, what's your favorite Tull song? Locomotive Breath or are you Aqualung guy? I mean, those are pretty much the big two.
I only started getting into Jethro Tull since you started making this reference on the show, but
a lot of people think Ian Anderson is Jethro Tull, which he is. But it's like they think that his name is Jethro Tull. It's got to be. I don't know who Jethro Tull is as a person, but I'm going to guess it's kind of like Leonard Skinner, kind of very similar. Their gym teacher was named Leonard Skinner. And that's what they named the band after. But anyways, Ian Anderson, all fantasy expectation team, but really, 1.95 ERA guy again. It's like the Braves have like these sub-2 ERA guys, and they just wheel them out, and their number one was out for the season. I mean, I could say the future is bright in Atlanta, and the payroll is going to be very big in the future there. But so Luis Castillo, we kind of thought that, maybe he was on to something. But then against Minnesota, he was a dumpster fire in that Pineda matchup, right? He was just absolutely horrific. And, he I don't know. This is kind of like, I could see this being another tight game and Castillo not being good enough. That's pretty much what I think, here. Yeah. What do you think?
I think you took the words right out of my mouth just now. Ian Anderson, I liked what I saw from him in the regular season, and I think over the course of the year, or at least late on, teams were hitting like 108 against his changeup, which is his money pitch. And, Castillo, he was going into the season, I thought he was going to rival Sonny Gray as the ace in that rotation, but then he blew up late, and I think you're spot on. I think it's just going to be a case of the Reds not being able to produce again. It's just going to have to come up just short. I think the Braves win this one and sweep the series.
Rod, they scored 1 run in 13 innings yesterday. Total 7.5 in this one. Any chance they score 7.5 times more runs in this game than they did yesterday?
I don't think so. I'm going to stick with the under. I don't think we're going to see a big pile of runs again. Give me the under here.
Ryan Bittler, your Reds prop bet hangs in the balance here. Your future. Your future is looking at you and staring at you in the face.
I think Castillo goes 7 strong innings today. I think we see a good start from Anderson. So I like the under here. I don't know how you could not like the under.
I could see Castillo going 7 strong, but the problem is I could see it being 1 or 2 runs strong, and I don't know if that's good enough. Because the Reds had a lot of chances. It's not like they didn't have chances. The Reds had way more chances than the Braves. Way more. And they just couldn't do it. It was unbelievable, right? First and third. It was like they seemed to have first and third almost every inning and got nothing.
Oh, I just want to see
time after time. It's got to just suck the wind right out of your sails.
Well, 13 men left on base, too. That's probably the story of that game.
I think I lost the most money on the Reds this season out of any baseball team.
It was the first and third no out, and I was like, oh, man. I'm like, oh, man, the Reds are going to score. Oh, no.
Yeah, I was texting Rod. I thought I had that one in the bag. But what are you going to do?
Well, we've got Yu Darvish in to save the day for the Chicago Cubs up against Sixto Sanchez. And, boy, the Cubs were cruising right along, 1-0, right? And you just figured it was a Hendricks day, and, all of a sudden, the wheels fell off the cart. Chris, I love the fall in Chicago. I used to love the farmers market on State Street. It's one of my favorite places to go, and they have it in the summer out there in State Street. And then when you get into the fall, they pick all the watermelons, and they're just awesome. And this would be really the best time for those watermelons. Yeah, it was a shitty day at Wrigley yesterday. I'm sure it was, there's some lousy days at Wrigley Field. They put a sports book in there, right? At Wrigley, it's like, let's put a book in, at Wrigley. Let's turn this into a real dump. Next thing, they'll have some craps tables, so you don't have to watch the games anymore. It's like, where were you? It's like, I went to get one of those frozen, whatever they call them. It's like a frozen milkshake or something they sell, right? It's like, anyone ever get those at the ballpark? It's like this frozen thing. They call it like a milkshake or something. And
it's like a custard or something?
No, it's like frozen like a brick, though. It comes in one of those cups, it has the little paper tab, you peel off the top, and then they give you the wooden spoon, and it's like, it's got no chance. Right, it's got no chance.
You're digging in for your first scoop.
Yeah, it's like they give you this wooden spoon that's like, it's not even really a spoon. It's kind of like a paddle, like on both sides like this, and it's like, it's got no chance against this frozen thing. It has zero chance.
It looks like a tongue depressor kind of thing, and you're like, really? Well, what am I supposed to do with this thing?
It's like, honey, where were you? I went to get one of those frozen milkshake things. You got $30 I can borrow? It's like, I thought you came with 400. I don't know. I must have lost my wallet.
It was a milkshake and a sports book. I couldn't say no.
Yeah, I did get the milkshake. It happened to be next to the craps table.
I'm waiting for the day where I'm at a craps table. You just see someone walking along with a tray with a milkshake on it.
It's like, someone's interested in Rod's bacon wrapped meatloaf. I'm way behind on the comments as usual.
For this one, I'm going to take the under. I like what we saw from Sixto Sanchez this season, and I think Yu Darvish is going to throw everything at the wall to keep the Cubs in this game. So, give me the under.
Rod?
I like the over. Sixto limped into the playoffs, not looking so good. I think he gets roughed up today. Give me the over.
Brian Bittler, don't touch
Boys.
me. Keep your hands off me.
Sixto Hernandez had a little bit of trouble down the stretch, I guess. Being young, usually towards the end of the season, young pitchers sometimes have trouble finishing. But I'm going to take a chance with Sixto here. Cubs are floppers. Give me $50 on the Cubs. $50 on the Marlins.
Take Sixto. Sixto all day. You ever see like the seagulls? Can you see it on TV? Like when the seagulls? I've seen one pick up a full slice of pizza. Those things, they are just abnormal. Those seagulls at Wrigley Field. Do they have? Are the seagulls still swarming like in the seventh inning, even though there's no fans there? Because it's seventh inning of a Cubs game, like on a Saturday, or Sunday. The seagulls are just swarming those 2:20 starts. It's like they know, they know it's like people are leaving and there's all kinds of food there. I've seen one pick up a full slice of pizza. Those are strong birds, man.
I know I'm setting myself up here, but I remember my first memory from a Jays game was a seagull taking a hot dog out of my hand.
There you go.
I'm holding on to the thing. I look at my dad who's sitting next to me, and then all of a sudden I feel my hand get lighter, and I'm like, where the hell did my hot dog go? And then I just see a seagull flying away with a hot dog. I'm like, you asshole.
Seagulls, it's like, seagull's like, you don't need it. It's like that's what happened to me at a couple years ago. I used to live in Kentucky years ago, and I went to get pad thai, and I asked for extra peanuts on it, and you don't need it. Okay. My wife, of course, we weren't married at the time, but she was with me, and she's just like, gave a look like, I was like, I don't know. It's like, you don't need it. It was like, ouch.
Whenever we want to tell you to stop, we'll just say no more peanuts.
Oh man. Oakland against the White Sox. I've been in the stall pattern because I'm waiting to hear who the starters are going to be.
I just saw a line come up for White Sox Oakland, but I don't know if it's correct or not.
I'm seeing 127 and 117.
It's 127, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I show, but I'm going to guess the starters are, I mean, it's got to be either Dunning or Lopez, right, for the White Sox here.
I think so.
It's probably
because Cease went yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's done for the White Sox for sure.
Dunning.
Yeah.
And for probably Montas for the Ace. We can guess.
I would think so.
I'll say maybe Fires.
I'm thinking it might be Fires. Yeah.
I think this game is all hands on deck. I'm gonna guess like you're probably gonna see Giolito pitch an inning or two, type game. These are those games. Anyways, you want to come back to this one and wait and see if we get some late information? Let's do that.
Yeah.
We'll go to San Diego where the Cardinals jumped all over the Padres early, and then the Padres had their chances, and Hero turned to GOAT as Tatis soft roller to the shortstop with 2 outs in first and second. Yeah, it's pretty much the way that went. America's first baseman, the best nickname in all of sports, Paul Goldschmidt, with the 2-run dinger to get the fireworks started in that one. Yeah, the Cardinals have been dogs all season long. I mean, I don't mean like underdogs. I mean like playing like dogs all season, and then they decide to wake up for that game. You think they carry it over here and close out the Padres?
I think so. I think we've seen how the divisions kind of limited everybody to playing within their division this year, but the Cardinals have a ton of experience playing against Davies from when he played for the Brewers. I think that's just a bit of an edge, enough of an edge that gives the Cardinals a lean here. So give me St. Louis and plus money.
Rod?
I like the Padres here. I think the Padres bounce back. Young, grit, drive. They try, and they're definitely not going to give up. So give me the Padres here. Send this to Game 3.
Adam Wainwright is like either, pitches like the crafty veteran, or he gets hit hard right out of the gate. Like, and I don't mean like, a 2-run homer hard. I mean like 6 runs hard, Brian, what do you think we see in this one?
Padres might be a little bit down, losing, Lamet and Clevenger. This is the time of year Cardinals always seem to excel. Playoff tested. Give me Wainwright and the Cardinals here, plus money.
Got the Brewers against the Dodgers. 4-2 last night. Kind of mundane, boring, ordinary, really nothing fun about it type game. Got Woodruff and Kershaw going in this one. I was surprised and that was really with the Brewers. The Brewers went with, we don't have anybody to pitch this game. Now they have their number 1 up against Kershaw. I think we got ball game in this one. I like the under. I think this one's going to be tight as a vice, man. What do you think, Chris? I mean, you got 2 teams with major playoff experience. These are probably the 2 most experienced teams out there, Chris?
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see how Woodruff does in an actual start. I mean, he got a win over Kershaw in the NLDS a couple years ago, but I think this is a tight game. I think this is a 1-run game, so I'll take the Brewers plus the 1.5. We've seen Kershaw struggle in the playoffs before. So,
what if Brian wanted to give you like a foot massage with the haircut and beard?
Oh, I don't do foot massage.
Yeah, I can't do it. No, my feet are off limits for anybody.
How about calves? So your calves can get a little tight.
But then you're traveling north, and I didn't know. No, I'm okay.
All right. Just
I'm good.
Asking for a friend. Rod?
we're no longer friends if this is who you're asking
for. For me in this one, like we know, I'm not a Kershaw guy, man. Give me Woodruff here. Play up Kershaw. We've seen what he can do, Mr. Blow Up. So I'll take a shot with the Brewers here at 2-1, plus 202, plus 210. Yeah, worth a shot. Give the Brewers for $50.
Ryan?
I think Kershaw's tired of hearing how he sucks in the playoffs, and Woodruff is a stud. Give me the under here. It's the only way you can go in this game.
Our website is this right here. I always when I get questions, so the two questions that I always say I must not be doing it right is, what is your website? Since it clearly says it on our YouTube page, right, with a link on both of our YouTube pages with links. And
what's your best pick today?
Well, not just that. No, it's not what's your best pick today. Where can I buy your picks? That's the other one that I get all the time. Where can I buy your picks? So, which since we sell picks as a business, means tell me that we must be doing something wrong. It's like, right?
I don't know how you can't figure that out. But
well,
yeah.
Because I think people would rather ask than look.
Yep, true.
It's like they have no problem getting you to stop everything you're doing to do it for them. Something they could do themselves in half the time of less effort than sending the email or typing in that question. The URL is shorter. All right, White Sox and A's. Chris?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find the pitching matchup, but if it's Dunning and Fires like I'm seeing in a lot of the comments, I'll take a shot with the White Sox. I know Fires is a more experienced pitcher, but yeah, I just think the White Sox pull it out somehow, and I think Fires blows up at the worst possible time. So give me the White Sox.
The Jets have the better defense. That's the twist. The numbers don't say the Jets have the better defense. Neither is if you stack the rosters. Let's do player for player. Broncos defense against Jets defense. I'll guarantee you, you're not even close. I'll tell you that much. Both these teams are missing their best defenders. All right, we know that. Right, the Jets are missing their middle linebacker, and the Broncos are missing their pass rusher. Right, Von Miller. But I would still say the Broncos have a much better defense. Much better. Because what you had a few years ago, the Jets had a better defense when they had a defensive head coach and they drafted defense all the time. But those great players that they drafted are long gone, right? Even Jamal Adams, gone, right? It's like, I'm too good for this defense. It's like, you never get better when you get rid of your best player. Ask the Red Sox. Never happens. Rod, what do you think, White Sox A's?
For me in this game, the White Sox stranded 10 guys on base yesterday. Just couldn't get that one hit they needed. I think they do it today. Give me the White Sox today. I don't think they leave that many guys on. White Sox are young and hungry, and I think they beat up on Friars or whoever's pitching for Oakland today.
I think that they don't want to pitch Fires today because
I think it'd be Matas personally.
Yeah, because Fires gives up. I mean, when he gives up, if you ever see the Mike Trout home run reel, Driscoll's not playing. It's like this guy's making these comments. It's like the Jets defense better. Driscoll is poop emoji, but Driscoll's not playing. It's like.
Well, Rippon's poop emoji too.
Oh, absolutely. Straight
poop. The Jets are super pooper emojis.
Yeah. Sam Darnold's not a poop emoji.
Right? Sam Darnold's a cluster emoji.
Yeah. Would Sam Darnold be vomit emoji? I mean, vomiting smiley face emoji? I mean, I'm not even sure.
We get a Voth emoji.
Rod's the most familiar here with the emojis. But I'm going to guess that Yeah, Sam Darnold. Let's look at Darnold's numbers this season. He's a gem.
His QB range is barely above Haskins. Oh.
Yeah, but what about his completion percentage to the other team? That's where Darnold
that might be higher than his own.
Yeah, that's where Darnold specializes. He loves to throw the ball to the other team. He's very good at it. Very good at it. It's like Phillip Rivers without the quick release and tight spiral. Look at Sam Darnold.
Rivers used to have a tight spiral. Now he just lobs it up there.
Anyone knows about a tight spiral, it's you. Anyways. Oof.
I'll take Sam Darnold any day we're ripping. But
3 TDs, 4 interceptions. I'm offended by Sam Darnold. I'm personally offended. 562 yards passing over 3 games. He's been sacked 6 times. He hasn't fumbled it yet this year, and normally he is a straight fumbler. Last year he had 6 of them. So he's due. Because that is 6 fumbles is about 1 point something, right? Every 4 games, right? 6. That's how many? Yeah, so he's totally due for at least 2 of them. Yeah. He's not a good football player. What do you think, White Sox A's?
Oh, it's my turn. Turn out the light. The party's over for the White Sox today. Oakland put the boot on the White Sox. Next season, you'll see the White Sox get to the World Series. Not this year. They're out.
All right, seriously. I'm going to give you a real pick now.
Oakland, easy today. Easiest game in the card.
Okay. I thought the Jets were the easiest game.
Nah.
If it was a Sunday game, would you be betting this Jets-Broncos game?
Nope.
Chris?
Probably, most likely not. No.
Chris?
No, you'd have to pay me to bet it.
Rod? Would this be
No, as I said yesterday to Brian, I'm like, I wouldn't even bet your money on this game.
Well, I would bet your money on this game. With my money, it's an insult. But it's...
We know how road teams do on a short week on Thursday Night Football. I mean, seems like this... we'll see.
What do you think about Georgia-Auburn at Georgia? Brian?
I kind of like Georgia to lay, but I like Auburn, man, getting points usually, but I like Georgia. They need a statement.
Last year was tight as a vice, man. The score that kind of pushed Georgia over the top last year was late in the game, and Auburn actually had a chance at the onside kick at the end of the game, and it bounced off the Georgia player, and they had the chance at the ball, and it went. They like jumped on the ball and it went out of bounds. They really had the chance. It wasn't like they had a chance that got away.
I say that now, and then after we get done with this, I'm looking at college football for Saturday, and I go, oh, Mitch was right about Auburn. I really like how this line looks and this situation.
We're just getting first impressions. I'm just throwing out some games. We got some time.
My first impression was Georgia, but, I could change that at the end of the day.
We got some time to kill. How about, let's see. What about Navy Air Force, Chris?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of clock chewed up in that game. I think the line shifted like crazy, didn't it?
Yep. The force went from +1 to +7.
The problem is I still can't get that 55-3 loss to BYU out of my head.
But then they had the comeback win against Tulane.
That's true too. Okay, you know what? Yeah, Air Force hasn't played yet this year. I'll lay the points with Navy.
Rod, how about Oklahoma, Iowa State?
For me, I'll take Oklahoma to bounce back. Iowa State looked awful.
On the road, laying 7 for the Sooners. 63 on the total there in a Big 12 game. Anything south of 70 is definitely on the radar, right?
Yeah.
We established that last week. Our number is 70 in Big 12 games. At 10 touchdowns, that's when we can start to maybe even consider that it's not going to go over. It's like 10 touchdowns. Yeah.
I think you have to consider Iowa State a little bit, a chance to upset maybe Oklahoma, who's reeling after losing that game. I don't know.
We're dealing.
Who's on upset alert this week, Brian, in college football, like of the big boys?
I think Iowa State at first glance would be a game I'm going to look at for money line maybe. You never know.
What about the 53% of the public that's on 53% of the bets that are on Texas Tech against Kansas State here? Move the line from 3.5 to 2.5, right through a key number with the hook.
I like Texas Tech a lot here. It's outright. Usually teams after beating a team like Oklahoma, I'll be fading them the next week. So I'll be on Texas Tech.
A little table saw going on somewhere.
I was like, what the heck was that?
I've heard of chopping wood.
They're sawing wood out there outside.
Nice. Get some fires going for the winter. Got one of those in Philly, right? It's like
It's not me, it's a neighbor.
I always think Philly, the firewood, they got the garbage can like in Rocky. They're all sitting there. Yo, Rocco!
I think that's back in the 70s when they had steel garbage cans.
They were oil drums they used. Chris, how about what upset you looking for this week in college football?
No, we talked about it in one of our videos, but I really like TCU's chances against Texas. Man, this TCU team is well coached, and they've actually beaten Texas 5 of the last 6 years. This may go back to Tom Herman not being able to step up in big games, but 11.5. I think that number. I think that could even be going down to about 7. I'd still play it at TCU. So
it's actually up to 12.5 again.
Yeah, I think Chris is right. So I'm writing down TCU. That looks like really good.
We did a video on this one. It's posted on Sports Chat Place where Chris and I did a video on this one, and we both took TCU. So
yeah.
Gary Patterson owns Texas. He owns Texas. That's how you keep a job at TCU, through good and bad and whatever. You beat the crap out of Texas every year.
This is like a game of the year. This is a game of the year for the TCU guys. They've had this circled.
Well, Gary Patterson's had it circled since the day they hired him. He gets up for the Texas game. That is for sure. There's a reason why he's one of the top paid coaches in all of college football. Gary Patterson, TCU.
I can easily see Texas only up 3 points.
Every time Miami has a head coaching opening, I always hope that this guy's name surfaces, but he makes so much money. I can only imagine what he would do running our defense. Anyways, Rod, what's the biggest blowout on the card for college football?
Biggest blowout? I think Alabama, man. I think Alabama plays 60 minutes and they blow them out. Run them over. I don't think it's even close.
Kind of like on the blowout side, I think that maybe we see, let's see. I could see a blowout in the biggest blowout. Maybe. All right, the biggest blowout is going to be Oklahoma State against Kansas. I could see that one being 30 plus.
UCF over Tulsa.
Tulsa, is it at Tulsa or at UCF? Because at Tulsa, it's always like you guys ever like bet on a game and you see a ref on the field and you're like, oh no, not this guy.
Yeah, the guy that's walking around with the cane and the sunglasses.
It's like the same. It's like this guy always screws me. Right? It's like, no, it's not this guy. My wife is always like, you say that about every one of these guys. It's like, man. But Tulsa always, I mean, at home is brutal, man. I've had some brutal calls against me at Tulsa. That's for sure. I've had some brutal.
SMU at home this week as the dog, the Mustangs.
I think
playing a Memphis team hasn't played yet this season because of COVID.
All right. You guys want to do a little 2-team parlay or something, or 3-teamer to end the show? Chris, you got anything, or you just want to say something like, Bill, you touch me, I'm calling the cops. you lay one paw on my hair. You lay one paw on my skull. I'm calling the cops.
I can't fault Brian for trying to get a trip to Hawaii. There's nothing.
Trip to Hawaii, come on.
No, but I will add
I'll
on.
meet in South Jersey for the haircut. How's that sound?
I'll add on to what you guys were just talking about. I think biggest blowout of the college football schedule to me stands out Mississippi State against Arkansas. I think I really think that air raid offense with Mike Leach and KJ Costello is going to do some damage against Arkansas. Who just they held their own against Georgia for the first half.
What was the question?
The biggest blowout of the week.
I didn't ask you. I gave you the upset.
I know, but you asked me if there was anything else I wanted to say, and that's what I wanted to say.
Go ahead.
You're not allowed to actually say what you want to say.
Oh, okay, fine.
Go ahead. Say whatever it is. Whatever. I've lost all. People say Mitch is a control freak. I've lost any control I had of this program.
Fine. Mississippi State biggest blowout of the week. 2-team parlay. Let's go. Braves and Marlins.
Rod?
Go White Sox, Braves, Padres. Birdcage, winner.
Brian, $25 bet on something here, or you want to do?
No parlay for me. Just guys place a big bet on Oakland. You won't be sorry. They're going to put the White Sox out today.
Wow, I'm going to
What's the laughing emoji? We haven't heard that in a bit.
Under in the football game, under in the Dodgers game against the Brewers, and under in the Braves game against the Reds. That's my parlay birdcage for today. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. It was fun. We didn't have a lot to talk about, but somehow we managed to talk for quite some time on here. 57 minutes and 8 seconds to be exact. But anyways, thanks guys for joining me once again. Thanks everyone that smashed the like button, that supports everything that we do. Whether you ever buy something, don't buy anything, I don't care. Just show up. We appreciate you a ton. I hope you guys know that, and I hope we make that clear to you every single time you're here. Anyways, we hope to act more professional tomorrow. Have a great day.